platform like LinkedIn. So this student masterclass today is tailored to those students primarily in their first or second year of study. And in this session, we will cover why LinkedIn is an important tool when starting out in your career and how you can start using it now to build your profile and network as an engineering student. We'll also touch on key student membership benefits and how to access our resources to help you build your career path and secure your internship or graduate positions. Now, if you have any questions throughout this webinar, please feel free to post them in the Q&A box at the bottom right of the screen. So my name is Alicia Stafford and I'm the Tertiary Engagement Manager here for Engineers Australia, and I'm based in Victoria. Before we commence this presentation, Engineers Australia would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and community. We pay our respects to them and to their cultures and to elders past and present. Now, one of the best places currently to network online and with other professionals is via LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is designed to showcase your abilities, your strengths in the larger global community. And today I'll share with you 6 tips on how to make the most of LinkedIn and how to make it work for you. But first, let's watch a short video.
If you're watching this, chances are good you want to get a job. You want to go from student to rising star, and you want to avoid eating the same meal over and over and over again. Good news, you're in the right place. That's right, LinkedIn. It's not just for top executives. It's not just for old people with heavy briefcases. It's for you, and it's the perfect place for you to start your professional story. Say you want to get a job in New York City. You've never been there before, but that's okay because you have LinkedIn on your side. You start by creating your profile. You give it love because you know it's what recruiters are looking for day and night. It's your resume that never sleeps. It's your flashing neon sign that says, hire me, for the love of all that is good in this world, hire me. Then you start making connections. Alumni working in New York? Yes. Recruiters at top companies in New York? Yes. Your mom's best friend? Yes. You start imagining whose shoes you want to walk in. You think, wow, this is a lot of deep stuff to consider. You shake yourself out of it and start searching for jobs. Whoa, that's a lot of jobs for students. Time to get down to business. You start to tailor your profile. You start applying. You feel empowered, in control, like you should be CEO. That gives you an idea. You look up all the CEOs of all the companies you want to work at. You see one of them went to your university. Then it hits you. You see a clear path from campus to career. You feel like you can see the future. You wonder if you're psychic. Should you start a hotline? No, back to plan A. You keep tailoring and connecting and applying, and before you know it, you start getting responses. First a few, then more, then an interview, and then you're hired. And that's when the real learning begins.
So I hope you could all hear that. I had some sound issues on my end, but hopefully you got to hear that video. So now we'll just start with a few of the basics. As we know, LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network with over 990 million registered users. Now, for me, I'm personally a huge advocate for LinkedIn. It's a really powerful networking tool if you know how to effectively navigate the platform to leverage opportunities. And I can definitely vouch for some of the benefits that I've personally experienced by being an active user of this platform, particularly in my job, by generating new business development opportunities, expanding my network within the industry, and gaining some really interesting insights into various companies. Now, it's important to be mindful that it is a business-orientated professional networking platform. So a reminder to keep things professional. You wouldn't want to post similar content on your personal Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok account. So let's keep it professional here on LinkedIn. I also get that sometimes LinkedIn isn't as user-friendly as, say, Instagram, for example, but we've got some tips that will hopefully help you become more familiar with how to use it or even where to start. Now, many students make the mistake of only creating a LinkedIn profile once they graduate, when they think they need it. But it really takes time to build a strong profile. It's not as simple as transferring information from your resume to build a profile on LinkedIn. You really need to grow your connections and even create a following through posting relevant content to you and your industry. Now, let's start with a few statistics. Everyone loves a good statistic. Now, LinkedIn officially launched back in May 2003, just 9 months before Facebook. Now, LinkedIn has, as we said, 990 million members in more than 200 countries, and 60% of LinkedIn users are between the ages of 25 and 34. 4 out of 5 people on LinkedIn drive business decisions. 8 people are hired through LinkedIn every single minute. And more than 58 million companies are listed on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn posts with images get 2 times higher engagement. So something to consider when using your LinkedIn. Now let's take a look at some of the features and functions that LinkedIn has to offer. You can really use LinkedIn to grow your professional network, to find and connect with like-minded industry professionals, and to get in touch with colleagues or peers. You can use LinkedIn to acquire and share expertise by contributing to discussion boards, following companies' news feeds to stay up to date with industry trends, and also join industry interest groups. You can also public blog post to get noticed as well. Now, you can use your profile as an interactive online resume and explore job opportunities and companies that you aspire to work for. You can also access LinkedIn Learning, which is another great way to keep your professional development up to date. So now we'll take a quick look at 6 steps to make LinkedIn work for you. So where to start if you're one of those students that maybe hasn't activated an account yet? Well, of course, the first step would be to create your profile. Now, if you don't already have one, create your profile to include your most recent work experience, even if it's not industry related, your skills, accomplishments, any training, any projects, even volunteer work. You'll want to update your profile regularly to ensure that you get noticed by and connected to people who can be part of your network. Now, a few tips here. Please always remember that when you are updating your profile, to turn the notifications off. Now, you always want to feature a professional headshot as your LinkedIn profile picture. Unlike other platforms with LinkedIn, you only get to display one picture on your LinkedIn profile, so it has to be a good one. Now, as a general rule, you should present yourself as you would at work. For instance, if you're a tradie, you probably won't be having a picture of yourself in a suit and tie, would you? You'd probably be in your tradie attire. Also, when it comes to photos, please remember no selfies. Gosh, I've seen so many different selfies, cropped family photos, pictures from parties on the weekend as profile pictures. These are completely inappropriate for LinkedIn. Ensure that your photo is clear with a neutral background. This is going to get you the best results. Now, you can also add a background photo on your LinkedIn profile, or a banner, as they call it. Now, this background photo or banner should reinforce who you are as a person or some of your key values. A background image maybe that represents your industry or your profession would be ideal here. Now, remember, as I said, LinkedIn is a live platform and a recruiter's hunting ground. So when you're editing your profile, turn the notifications off so people aren't constantly being updated with you making additions to your profile. Now, remember that LinkedIn is also a recruiter's hunting ground. So be mindful of how you want to be perceived. It really comes down to personal branding. And I'm sure you've heard it's no longer about who you know, but who knows you. You also need to be mindful of knowing what sets you apart from others. The more that you can define yourself and what makes you unique and interesting, the more you'll allow others to see your value. So this might include defining things that you've accomplished or the ways in which you look at your role within your specific industry. Now, ensure you complete the additional sections as well that LinkedIn has to offer, including adding your volunteering work experience, any organisational memberships like your EA membership, and even include your headline and summary. Now, when it comes to those additional sections, particularly regarding the headline, make your headline more than just a job title. This is the section where you can really sell yourself. And with your summary, it's your story. You would like to create an exciting introduction. This is where you can begin to introduce yourself effectively in the summary section of your LinkedIn profile. And it really shows who you are as a person. Now, it's a good idea when creating your headline and summary to use repeat words related to your profession throughout your profile. This really helps with LinkedIn and the search algorithms to use a combination of keywords and connection similarities to produce you in results that you want to be seen in. So you really need to think carefully about what employers might be searching for and what searches you would like to appear in as a result. Once you've got an understanding of those keywords, be sure to use them in your subject heading, your summary, and through your nominated skills. Some good keywords can be sourced from potential job descriptions that are relevant to your area of study. So you can also change the order of the sections regarding your LinkedIn profile to improve your career narrative as a student. If you wish to portray your education and showcase that first before your employment history, for example. Now, in terms of the second step, this is all about building your professional network. And I really encourage you to join groups and interact on LinkedIn. There are a number of groups on LinkedIn that are industry focused, and there you can talk with other professionals, you can connect on ideas and start building your network. You can also begin to showcase your expertise, which may lead to other unexpected connections. Joining in and participating in groups is a way to learn about issues affecting people within your industry, and it's a way to keep up to date with trends and information that might help you connect with a potential employer. Now, you can follow the company's page of a company that you admire to work for. So I encourage you to follow all the different companies relevant to your area of industry. Now, you can also connect with people that can help you or that you can help. So you can ask to connect with others even if you don't know them, but be sure to send them a personalized message that's more targeted, that can get their attention of someone that might be valuable in your network. Always try to send a message when making a new connection. It's a good idea to let people know why it is that you're wanting to connect with them. Now, an example of this might be you've attended recently one of our networking events, and you can follow up that connection you made in person at that event via sending them a request to connect on LinkedIn. And that example message for connection might be, "It was great to meet you at the Engineers Australia event. I'd love to connect with you here to stay in touch and learn about any industry updates relevant to your area of practice." Very simple. Now, a tip here as well, I'm not sure if any of you know this, but did you know that you can spend time in LinkedIn jail for sending out too many connection requests at once to people that you do not know? So just be mindful of that when you're sending out your connection requests. Now, tip 3, start talking and practicing the art of communication. So LinkedIn is a great way to introduce yourself. Comment on connections, on their work, on any articles that they post. On LinkedIn, you can talk about what you're doing or planning to do. And don't be afraid to ask for advice from your connections on LinkedIn. Now, one thing not to do is never ask for a job until you've gotten to know someone and that they have gotten to know you. And always be your authentic self. Now, tip number 4, be active. Once you're confident and you've expanded your number of connections on LinkedIn, I really encourage you to get active on the platform. Don't only like, but comment on people's posts. Share posts yourself, things that interest you or you may feel might be of interest to others within your network. Post a picture and a caption from any relevant industry or networking events that you attend. You can also use the platform to contribute to group discussion boards. You can even write articles on LinkedIn. You can use the update feature. So if things are coming up within the industry that you'd like to stay up to date on, you can also share articles and comment on them. And by contributing to the conversation about what matters to you, this will attract people and posts in your network. Now, it's always a good idea as well to set aside some dedicated LinkedIn time as well. Now, LinkedIn does have some pretty interesting articles that you can read about job searching, different types of industry news and tips. So tap into this by following some of the key business influencers that are relevant to you and to your career goals. These types of people will really give you all kinds of inspiration and motivation. Also, start following, reading, and liking relevant industry news posts as well. The more active you are on LinkedIn, the more connections you're likely to make, and the more you'll get noticed by potential companies. Now, tip number 5 regarding recommendations, endorsements, and alerts. Now, recommendations are an important validation tool of your professional brand. Now, recommendations can also act as references or testimonials that really add value to your LinkedIn profile. So, who do you think you can ask for recommendations from? Well, teachers and lecturers, former managers from some of your part-time or casual jobs, even student society leaders. Don't be afraid to ask for recommendations. The worst outcome is they'll say no, they don't have time. You can always go and find somebody else. Now, it's important here if you're asking for recommendations, also take the time to recommend others or take the time to endorse others. Now, you can endorse the skills of others that you know in your network to help them build their exposure. Now, these people will often return the favour and endorse your skills, allowing everyone to boost their attractiveness and to showcase your skills to certain professionals and organisations. Now, endorsements are really the virtual thumbs up, I guess, that your connections can give you to really authenticate your experience. Now, these endorsements can be 1 or 2 words and focus on key areas related to your profession. It's also a good idea to set alert notifications. You can create job alerts on LinkedIn to stay up to date with any new job postings that match your preferences. You can choose whether you want to receive these alerts on a daily basis, weekly, through email, app notifications, or both. And this can be accessed in your LinkedIn settings. Now, finally, step number 6, have fun. LinkedIn, it shouldn't be stressful. It's a really great online platform, a place to connect and interact with others. It's one of the many places that you can look for a job. And did you know that approximately 87% of recruiters have hired someone through LinkedIn? As simple as that. More and more employers these days are choosing to advertise roles on LinkedIn for a number of reasons. Firstly, cost to post ads on some other job platforms can be very expensive. And also, it's a 2-for-1 bonus on LinkedIn. They can advertise their positions and they can also view your profile during the screening process. So, this is why it's important to make sure your profile is professional. Now, remember, while having fun, You can also take a step back or take a break from LinkedIn if you need to, just like with any other social media platform. But finally, enjoy the online environment. Make the most of all that LinkedIn has to offer and start building your profile and your connections today. So now what we'll do is we will go through some of the Engineers Australia free student membership benefits and how you can access them. So if you'd like to stay on the line, please do. So Engineers Australia, I'm sure most of you all know who we are, but for those that may not, we are Australia's national body for engineering and the voice and champion of over 120,000 members here in Australia. And ultimately, what we do here at Engineers Australia is simple. We support the engineering profession in every capacity, representing it in policy and advocacy, upholding professional standards, nurturing talent, and celebrating achievement. Now, we do look after all areas of practice, and we are a broad church in that we are the home for all engineering specialisations. Now, we do have 9 colleges that broadly cover these areas of practice and provide continuing professional development opportunities for our members. Now, these 9 colleges include a biomedical college, a chemical college, civil, electrical, environmental, information, telecommunications and electronics, mechanical, structural, and then finally the College of Leadership and Management. Now, we also have 4 special interest groups that represent key focus areas for our members and do provide a platform for communication and networking. And they are Young Engineers Australia, Women in Engineering, Engineering Heritage Australia, and the National Committee for Engineering Associates and Technologists. Now, here at Engineers Australia, we are here to bring you the best and the brightest with over 25 national and international engineering conferences, seminars, and speaker tours each year. We are here to build your capabilities with over 1,000 technical events across divisions for members of the profession. And we are here to give you access to the tools you need to succeed, with our online resource collection offering access to some of the best engineering resources in the world. Now, here is a little map of Australia and where our divisions and regional groups are located. So again, no matter where you are within Australia, Engineers Australia is there to support you. Internationally, we have 6 international chapters based in Hong Kong, Malaysia, UAE, Qatar, Singapore, and the UK, with over 8,000 international members. And again, supporting you on your journey wherever you may end up within the world. Now, we do have over 378,000 followers across our social media channels, which is something we are quite proud of. And if you are following us on any of these platforms, you are connected with us in real time, again, wherever you are. Following Engineers Australia across these platforms is a great way to find out what real engineering issues people are talking about today. And it's also a valuable tool to connect with people that are going through the same thing as you, speaking the same language as you. So I encourage you to utilise these networks. Now, how can EA help you with regards to student membership? Well, uni helps you do the job, and here at EA, we help you get the job by giving you access to the tools that you need to succeed. Now, we do provide the following support for student engineers to really help you through your studies and develop you into industry-ready graduates. Now, we do that via on-campus outreach, where we have a dedicated team of engagement managers like myself around the country that are responsible for university outreach, things like in-lecture presentations, masterclasses, on-campus visits and events, representation at O Week, attending student society events, and facilitating industry connections by managing our student ambassador program as well. Now, we do have close to 200 student ambassadors around the country who are the voice of Engineers Australia on campus. We also have our Work Ready series. Now, our Work Ready series is a really great one that you can utilise in your own time. And from speaking with both engineering students and universities, we know that students can sometimes find it difficult to transition from university to working life. You've got the technical or the fundamental engineering knowledge, but sometimes you may lack some of the more fundamental or soft or life skills, we like to call them, that you would need to apply in your everyday work life. And this is where the Work Ready series comes in handy. It's been created to provide you with tools you need to stay one step ahead of your engineering journey and covers topics such as how to optimize productivity, social influence, strategic thinking, and understanding others. Now, we also have our virtual work experiences, which I'll go into more detail on shortly. But our virtual work experience modules really allow student engineers to learn firsthand the practical aspects of various engineering roles and how you can apply that theoretical learning in the workplace. We also have our internships hub. Now, the Engineers Australia Internships Hub has really been developed to house all of the information, tools, and resources, not only for students, but employers and tertiary institutions. It has all of the information on how they should take on interns, how to find an internship, how to run an internship program, all of the things you need to know before beginning an internship with a company. We also have our Elevation event series. Now, Elevation is not your ordinary career expo. It's a unique opportunity for companies to engage with engineering industry's newest graduates and final year students, and a chance for them to promote their internship or graduate positions and employment opportunity directly to you, early career engineers. Now, our Elevation Career Expos are hosted roughly in March each year, 7 locations nationally. So I do encourage you to look out early next year to attend one of our Elevation Career Expos. Now, finally, we have our EA Jobs Board, which is exclusive for our student and graduate members, and it's an online search directory and platform for student and grad members to access relevant engineering vacancies around the country and overseas. And I will go into more detail on the Jobs Board shortly. So when it comes to our internship resources or the Internships Hub, these resources too are also available on our online networking platform, EA Exchange, but they really have been designed to help you as students find internships in good engineering companies and to help you build better skills to get your career off to the best possible start. Now, within the Internship Hub, you'll find a student practicum guide, success stories and case studies, internships guide, awareness videos, and this is where you'll find the Student Work Ready series. Now, the Internship Hub also has a section for international students. So if you're an international student, there's some extra tips and advice there just for you. Now, we also have a range of events and networking opportunities for our members, and these are a great way to really learn, build connections, and find your next potential employer. So I encourage you to have a look at some of our upcoming events and register for some today. Now, with regards to our members only jobs board, this does contain opportunities like internships, work experience opportunities, right up to early career roles. Now, the EA Jobs Board is specifically for engineering roles and has hundreds of opportunities from top employers across many different industries. Now, via the Jobs Board, this is where you can also gain access to our member-only virtual work experiences. Now, our virtual work experiences are developed to help you really bridge that gap between university theory and working practice. And there are 18 different virtual work experience modules available. So why not feed your curiosity of what lies ahead by discovering what it's actually like to work in a specific engineering field? Now, our virtual work experiences take you right into the workplace. They show you the types of problems, projects, and environments you are likely to work in any one of these 18 chosen fields. Now, for first year students, they're a really great way to help you decide on what area of engineering you might like to focus on. Now, when it comes to EA Exchange, we do have a student community on EA Exchange allowing you to connect with one another. And this dedicated student section provides some of that internship advice that we discussed earlier, many different career resources, upcoming local student events and content curated just for you. Now, accessing EA Exchange is quite easy. You can access it via the QR code on the screen or by signing into your EA portal. Now, with regards to EA Exchange, you can also connect with other students in other locations. You can contribute to other discussion boards and other areas of interest within the engineering community. It's also a great way to potentially find a mentor. Now, student membership with Engineers Australia is free. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up, provided you are studying an accredited engineering degree. So, why not find your potential as an engineer with Engineers Australia and join for free today? Now, our support doesn't end when you graduate. Our graduate membership is there specifically and designed to help you transition from university to the workplace. So, if you are upgrading your membership from student to graduate, if you are a recent graduate on the call today, you might be eligible to upgrade for free until the 30th of June 2025. So, log into your EA portal and apply for that free upgrade. All you need is your undergraduate academic transcript and completion letter. Otherwise, if you've already graduated, maybe say a few years ago, graduate membership is still available to you for around $200 a year or just $17 a month. Alternatively, your employer may like to support your graduate membership fee as part of your CPD or your continuing professional development. Now, remember, your membership fees may be tax deductible, so please do check the ATO website for more details or seek some independent financial advice. So now we'll move to the Q&A. If anyone does have any questions, please don't be shy. You can come off mute, but I'm sure, Regina, you
Yeah,
might have
I've
been
been
answering some
I've been madly
process here in the
typing. Yeah,
background.
I've been madly typing, trying to get to all the questions. So thank you, Alicia, for the content there. Super useful. I'm sure, particularly for any first year students who are yet to set up their LinkedIn page. I've still got a couple that I didn't get to. Let me read one of them out. To you. It was in and around the notifications. So
Yes.
the question that came in from Luke is, how do you turn off notification to others while editing your
Your
profile?
profile. So that's not something I've done recently, actually, but let me see if I can pull up my LinkedIn and go into the settings and have a quick look for you and find out exactly where it is.
While you, sorry, Alicia, while you do that, I may just add to the answer that I've noted. There was a question that came in about our virtual work experience and whether
Mm-hmm.
they can use that as part of their work experience. And I suppose short answer to that is no, technically. The virtual work experience, it was really designed to provide student engineers with a platform to test their learnings, be it from the lecture room or the labs, and being able to see, I suppose, where they're up to in a safe online environment. The content that our team produced together with industry is really in line with what you can expect to be doing as a graduate engineer, be it in chemical engineer, environmental, or civil, right? With that said, though, a huge plus for our virtual work experiences is that once you complete a module, you will receive a digital badge that we absolutely recommend that you upload on your LinkedIn profile. The reason being for that is it then demonstrates to industry, and Alicia touched on this, it then demonstrates to industry that you are an active participant in your profession, by undertaking an extracurricular activity like EA's virtual work experience. You should also be noting, and this was one of the questions around, if I should be using my full name or perhaps dropping my middle name. I did note as part of my answer as well that everybody on this call should be including their EA post nominal.
Yes.
Right? Because again, that demonstrates to anyone in the engineering industry, they will automatically know by seeing that post nominal that you are part of EA's community, which is a huge start already. And I did note what that post nominal is. So please look
for
at
students.
Yes, for students. Super small thing that you can do as well is, be following Engineers Australia. And again, if someone is there checking your profile, they can see, oh, so-and-so is following Engineers Australia. It may sound small, but those are the things really that
get you noticed.
Yeah, get you noticed, for any prospective employers or contacts within the industry. To them, without you saying anything, they'll go, right, okay, this student knows about their professional association.
Yeah, it really does show your commitment to the industry as well, by having that on your profile. So just going back to the settings, so to turn off the notifications while you're editing your profile, if you go to your account and under settings in visibility, you'll then want to look at edit your public profile. So when you click on that, there is the little toggle to switch on and off. So I'm happy to share my screen if that's helpful, and we can go through and do that. So just bear with a sec. Okay, so I hope everyone can see.
Yes, we can see.
So obviously, yeah, when you're on your your main LinkedIn, your LinkedIn page, you'll go to your me, your settings and privacy. And once you're in there, on the left-hand side under visibility, the little eye, where it says here, the third one down, edit your public profile, you will then just turn that off. And so no one will be able to see that while you're then going and editing your content.
Alicia, another question that I've just read was around accessing the virtual work experiences together with the jobs board. You do indeed need to be a student member of ours for you to access both of those platforms.
Yes.
It will ask you to enter your EAID together with the password. I say passport. I say passport because there was somebody on the call that asked if a passport photo is a professional headshot and for everyone's awareness, if you've not read the Q&A, I did say, yes, it is a professional photo, but keep in mind that for most passports, you're not able to smile, right? So you've just got to
Yes,
keep that in mind, that you want to have sort of a nice, friendly, inviting photo, given that you
passport
only
photos can be quite emotionless, can't they?
yeah, so just something to keep in mind in that, yes, it is a professional headshot, but you want to be keeping that in mind and really have a photo, given that you've only got one, for that um uh, profile together with the banner, that you want one that's a bit more inviting and friendly, to whoever it is that is checking your profile. A few other questions have come in. So we're on 6:15. So let me just go through. There was also one that came up while I'm just clicking away here as to where you find opportunities for EA, specifically for careers. I mean, I shared the link. It's under About Us. You'll also know that if you are following a company, they'll have a tab there where it says jobs. And again, that lists, all of the current opportunities really for any organization. So you can, either have a look on the company website or also on their LinkedIn page.
Yes.
Okay, let me just have a look here. Virtual work experiences, we've covered that one. Sorry, guys, bear with me here. Okay, there was a question around how about university lecturers? Would that differ from approaching a workplace referee?
Well, yes and no. Lecturers obviously can give you a character reference or a recommendation, whereas a work or an employer will give you a more professional work-related reference or an endorsement. I guess it just depends on your situation. If you've both worked and are still studying, why not ask both?
Yes, absolutely agree. There was a related question that I answered earlier on, I guess, to add, Alicia, to what you've mentioned, is to just make sure that you're obviously asking a person that you're well connected with, that can absolutely vouch for your character, is one thing. And to also provide them with context as to what it is,
Why? Yeah.
that you're requesting XYZ, be it a recommendation letter or a support letter. Always helpful, if you do have a particular job in mind that you are actually applying for, is to perhaps share the position description or the job requirements with them, so he or she can then include your your skills, and can give perhaps specific examples as to how you can demonstrate that you've got a strong background in time management or project management, for example. So again, something to be keeping in mind. One that came in is around, is there more connection numbers on LinkedIn as a benefit of a personal profile? I think with that question, apologies if we're not interpreting it correctly, but really with your LinkedIn profile, as Alicia mentioned, it is such a powerful networking, platform. So the earlier, the better, for those of you who have not set one up yet. And as far as, going, well, what do I actually post on there? I mean, I'm not working in industry yet, right? I don't have relevant working experience and what have you. My suggestion around that, and Alicia, you mentioned this as well, is if you are out there attending events on campus, if you're attending an industry event organized by ENGSOC or a club and society, that you're a member of, absolutely take a photo there, share that on LinkedIn, tag an industry contact that you met on the night. If you're undertaking, like we said, the virtual work experiences or engaging with any other resources through EA, make sure you add those. Any, I suppose, key projects that you complete, you can absolutely note that, but you need to be highlighting your contribution to that particular project and the outcomes, the results of your, the role that you played in that. So there's definitely a lot there. I know with my conversations with students who are here in Sydney, where I am, it's, well, what do I put in there? I'm a student. It's quite hard to be updating it on a regular basis. But my take on it is anything that you engage with that's related to the engineering profession. I see those as being valuable, to be adding to your LinkedIn activity. Just a question from Joseph that I just saw come in. Do we add the postnominal in our LinkedIn headline or directly to our name?
You could do either.
I think you could do either. I know for just looking at our Young Engineers Australia committee, the individuals in that community tend to note their postnominal after their name. I think it's a much of a muchness. The key takeaway is that it is there on your profile.
Correct. Yeah.
Let me just see, and please feel free to go off mute if I've not had a chance to read your question out if it's not been answered. Oh, there was a question from Asma that came in not long ago. If we are not working, how can we get membership? Asma, it doesn't really matter if you're working or not working. The EA student membership or membership in general, I suppose, let me take a step back there. For the student membership, it is open to all current students who are enrolled in an accredited EA degree. What I will do is just so everybody can see this. I'm just copying and paste the link to membership. So that's looking at the student membership. Again, if you're a grad or a professional engineer already, it doesn't matter if you're currently employed or looking for work. It really is about demonstrating to EA/our assessment team that you have the appropriate accredited qualification to be an Engineers Australia member. So I've noted Asma the page there for student membership. With that said, if you go to the EA website, you can also contact our member services team. You can either call or submit an inquiry, and one of our colleagues in customer engagement will be able to help you there.
Now, there was another question, Regina, about I heard there are free short courses on Engineers Australia portal. Is this true, and where can I access these? So there's a number of different courses and things you can access. One of them is EA On Demand, which I've linked. Now, not all of the content on EA On Demand is free. Some of it comes at a discounted cost for members. There is again the virtual work experiences, which are free for student and graduate members to access. And as part of our graduate membership offering as well, there is what we call the CPD webinar series for our graduate members, which also has some free content there as well. So I will post that in the chat as well, the link to the CPD series, if it will let me. Yeah, there we go. So EA On Demand, the YEA CPD series, and I think you've already linked the virtual work
Yes, I have.
experiences.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
There was a question around for companies who post job ad on both LinkedIn and their website, which is the best platform to send an application, LinkedIn or company's website? Again, I don't think it matters as to which one you use.
As long as you're submitting the job.
As long as you're submitting it and receiving some form of communication that they have received it. From my experience, the job ad will tell you how they would like for you to submit, your application. For EA, for example, I mean, we have an email to our people team, which again is noted on on the job ad itself. I think so. Just going back and making sure that you read and reread as to what their preference is. For inquiries about the role, as well as actually submitting your application itself. Asma has submitted another question here, and I just want to read this out for everyone's awareness. As a master's student of engineering, I am not eligible for free student membership. So with that one, I think Alicia and I are absolutely happy to connect with you and unpack that a little bit more. But for everyone's awareness, with the free student membership, it applies to students who are studying in an accredited undergraduate or postgraduate degree. With that said, though, Asma, which may be the case with you, is that, again, in Sydney, I meet quite a lot of students enrolled in a Masters of Engineering Management postgraduate degree. Here, let's say Macquarie University comes to mind. That particular qualification tends to be more management and business focused than it is engineering. Therefore, EA does not accredit that. I'm specifically talking about Macquarie University here. With that said, though, those students are certainly able to contact our team to inquire about either applying for a graduate membership or full membership based on their qualification plus any relevant work experience that they've obtained overseas. Okay, so it's not a no, you cannot be a member, but rather the options available to you, particularly if you've got qualifications that you've obtained from your home country already.
I've just linked to Asma's question there, the directory of accredited programs that was updated in July this year. So if anyone's keen, it's also available on our website. You can just Google search EA accredited programs and the PDF list will come up, which is displayed by university, and you'll be able to check if your course is on the accredited list or not, fully or provisionally accredited.
We may end on this question, Alicia. I'm just looking at the time. There was one that just came in around, do you have any example LinkedIns that would help to give us an idea of a stellar profile, like I guess a goat of LinkedIn profiles? That's a tricky one. Yeah.
Yes, I think anyone that you aspire to work for, check out the company's profile and look at their employees. But in terms of some young engineers, I would encourage you to have a look at the Young Engineers Australia committee members relevant in your state. So they do have a main page, for instance, Young Engineers Australia Victoria. And then you can go then and have a look at the committee members and have a peek at their profiles.
Good one. And again, just one around, should I include my GPA in my profile?
I don't know that I've seen a lot of people including that on your resume, yes, but maybe not necessary for your LinkedIn. What do you think?
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I know again from experience with holding industry nights and Q&A panels here in Sydney, it really is more your extracurricular activities that employers want to be seeing in addition to knowing that like I said, that you are part of the EA community, demonstrating that you are an active participant in the profession. So I don't think it's necessary, to be honest, as far as noting your GPA. And a quick one, does being affiliated to EA come with a certificate after graduating? No, not
Just your post
as
nominals.
such. Your post nominals, once you graduate, please ensure that you do let our member services team know by going into your profile and updating it. And then your graduation will then your membership will then be upgraded from a student member to a graduate member. And then part of that, as Alicia said, is to make sure that you then go into your LinkedIn profile and update your post nominal.
Fabulous.
Yeah. We
Well,
do have a few other questions there, Alicia. So I think absolutely reach out
to us. I'm sure I've started to receive, and I can see already so many connection requests coming through on my LinkedIn. So please don't be shy. Reach out, send me a connection request, and you can send through any further questions to me or Regina that you might have. We'd be more than happy to help you. And thanks to those that have already taken the time to send me a personalized connection request saying thanks for this session today. It's a pleasure. So thank you all for joining us. I hope you were able to have some key takeaways from those 6 tips that we went through and just understanding a little bit more about EA